This week's chapter was very interesting. It's not on the same level as the two previous chapters that we've had, but it was a very good chapter in its own way. So as we know, we have these hooded riders save Ray from being taken away by the demons of the plantation, and unlike Ray, this guy is able to lose the fast running demons in a few seconds by dropping what looks like some kind of smoke bomb, but based on how the demons react, I'd say it probably has some strong smell to mask the rider's whereabouts. So clearly he knows that they rely a lot on the sense of smell. You might say he's done this kind of thing before. Now, one of my favorite parts in this chapter is when the leader of these demons gets so mad at the fact that they lost Ray, because we see this demon just tightly grasp his sword, and this guy unleashed enough strength to cut a tree of an enormous size down with a single slash. I think it's safe to assume that this guy is god tier within the world of the Promised Neverland, because this series takes place in a world where the power scale is rather realistic and comparable to that of the real world. It's not your typical shonen universe where you have hockey, magic power, ki, or any other type of ridiculous power scaling. Here's literally just, if you're human, you'll have the strength of one, nothing more, nothing less. And the main cast in the series are still just children, so they are even worse off than the grown-ups. So it's going to be interesting to see just how the series progresses, as I'm sure at some point we will find ourselves reading this series and the odds will be more in the humans' favor. It's really just a question of how will they get to that point. I'm sure it will take a long time until it actually happens. These newfound allies, if they even are allies, might play a part, but I'll get to them shortly because that was also a very interesting part and development in this chapter, to say the least. Right, so let's move on to the children, because we see Ray and Emma wake up in some kind of cave, and Emma is feeling much better apparently. Her fever has gone down, and well, Ray is seemingly in one piece, so the rescue clearly was a success. However, Emma and Ray don't actually know where they are. They could be in safe hands, but they could also have been invited to a new danger. It's really hard to tell in a series like The Promised Neverland, but something good's bound to happen sooner or later, right? Something that's really interesting is how they seem to be using nature instead of science in their lives, because we see Ray hold some kind of lantern, except instead of a candle it has some kind of a self-glowing flower which provides with the light. I mean, that doesn't necessarily say that they're not evil or anything, but it does tell us that they're about equally screwed as the kids are when it comes to their quality of life. Ray seems to have this feeling that something is really off about these people despite how nice they are to them. Perhaps that's the reason. They might be too nice to Emma and Ray. Oh yeah, and I almost forgot, one thing that we actually learned was the name of one of these characters. The male's name is apparently Sang Yu or something like that, which does not sound very Japanese, nor does it sound Western. So I'm thinking maybe Korean or Chinese inspired. That's a really nice touch to stray from the norm that you typically get in manga. I mean, you typically get, you know, Japanese or Western sounding names, but yeah, back to this thing with Ray then. Out of the blue, he asks these humans if they are demons, and he asks in a very confident manner, as if he almost for certain knows that it is the case. And we of course see this Sang Yu in the background with his hood on, but this is a really big figure that we're seeing, so my understanding is that it's either to trick the readers into thinking that Ray is right, or these people are in fact another brand of demons, demons which shapeshift into humans. Now this is something we haven't really seen yet, because the demons of the farms didn't seem to have this ability, or well, they might have, but it's never been shown at least. So if this is in fact the reality, that they are demons capable of turning into humans, then we have a huge development on our hands. It is very possible that if they are actually on the same side as the kids, that these demons have a connection to Minerva in some way. Like they might actually be stationed around that farm just in case some children would escape the plantation, so that they can pick them up and ensure their safety. Now that's of course just a possibility among many others, so don't take my word for it. But yeah, I really hope they end up being good guys, because it would be kinda cool to have these guys help the children, especially if they're actually demons. But even if they're not, and that the figure we saw by the end of the chapter was just a trick for us readers, it would be cool, because we clearly saw that they're more than capable of escaping the demons. Not only do they ride demon horses and shit, but they have equipment to mask their movements and such. Like those smoke bombs that we saw being used early on in the chapter. Needless to say, I can't wait for the next chapter to come out. Anyway, that'll be it for this week's review of The Promised Neverland. Let me know what you think down below in the comments, and as always, if you did, please like this video if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you're new to my channel. This has been your favorite host, Perm, and I'll see you soon.